We are on the eve of winter. The greyness is here, the days are getting shorter, and it's the perfect time for cleaning the vegetable garden. If you have a tunnel and the broom shrubs are not in bloom, you may still have a few tomatoes left, and you absolutely need to pick them. Especially if the stems of your tomatoes start to blacken, they are no longer being nourished anyway. So we will bring them inside to the warmth. This is true for tomatoes, and it is also true for peppers. In our big cleanup, we will remove the diseased fruits. Fruits affected by downy mildew should not be left on the ground, as this disease may spread later, downy mildew. This is also true for the tomato plants. So, we will absolutely remove all the tomato plants. We won't put them in the compost because we risk spreading the disease the following year. Regarding the stakes, it is important to clean them thoroughly and disinfect them with bleach water. If they are aluminum stakes, simply wipe them down with bleach water. On the eve of winter, one must be vigilant with chickweed, as chickweed, even though it is a plant synonymous with a beautiful garden well enriched with humus, is capable of blooming all year round. 15 days of mild weather during winter, we see the buds ready to bloom and produce seeds, so we will pull out the chickweed by hand between the plants. Here we are talking about winter salads. There is not just chickweed, there are also other small seedlings. A little tip to eliminate chickweed is to do a false sowing. You will prepare your soil once you have cleaned it well. After a few days, when you see the chickweed reappear, at that moment give it a little crosscut, a little scratch, to eliminate it for good. This will ensure that there is no chickweed present in the spring. Although the fallen leaves are very pretty in the paths of a vegetable garden, it is important to understand that the leaves that fall to the ground turn into humus, enrich the paths, and later there will be more weeds. Whether they are dry, green or semi-dry, it's over for the beans. We are pulling them up. The beans have done an excellent job this summer, as they have enriched our soil thanks to the nodules. So we will bundle up the few beans that remain in the field. We will hang them in a dry place to be able to collect some seeds, some beans, or other types of beans. If at the end of the season you discover a squash when the foliage has disappeared, know that this squash is not rotten, even if it is quite hard. It is excellent in soup mixed with a soft cheese and a few celery leaves. In principle, during winter, one does not water. Store your sprinklers in a warm place, protected from frost as much as possible. Check that there is no water left inside. Your garden hose should also be stored in a warm place where it won't freeze. Make sure there is no water left inside. Well, there is a technique, since often these are connections with a stop inside indeed. You apply the gun to its fitting to empty it properly. Otherwise you disassemble the nozzles. The gun should also be stored in a warm place where it won't freeze. The watering cans left in the garden are also at risk of freezing inside. And then, one last small thing, and it's probably the most important, make sure to properly drain these trident pipes in the garden. Check that there is a drainage plug. Once you have closed your drain, you open the faucet so that it does not freeze at the connection.